acts and so forth. So I've kept up with the Green Party. I think you've been around about 50 years or so, maybe 30.
It's about 20 years in this country.
Okay, 20 years in this country. Also, the World Health Organization are you part of, somehow you were tied in with the World Health Organization or not? Let me continue because I know you can keep up with these points. Also, you didn't speak about the Voting Rights Act. I think it's insane that we still are dealing with the Voting Rights Act. That is critical and crucial that everybody is allowed to vote, that we do not have to renew any type of act continuously so that people are not disenfranchised. Also, I wanted to mention the 13th Amendment, which allows for people to be enslaved once they are incarcerated or have committed a crime. You didn't address that. That is very important to us as African American people because we're the ones sitting behind that line of fire as far as being enslaved. Let me continue on with the talk of reparations. You didn't mention anything dealing with that. That is critical to us as a people. When you're sincere with us, that must be addressed. The whole slavery issue must be addressed because we cannot move further unless those type of issues are addressed for African American people.
That's right,
Okay, so I mean, if you can just respond to just those. And I also heard you mention the Marshall Plan, but we also had a civilian conservation course here too. And that was what we had wished that Obama had put in place when he came into office. As you said, he had his ground troops and so forth. So I basically want to have those type of questions addressed by you and other members of the Green Party, as I stated before, not to rephrase, but specifically, how is the Green Party being funded? Where do you get your money from?
Money is from people like you in small donations. I think it might be $36 as an average donation, something on that order. So we don't have any special fancy ways to get around donation limits. In fact, we observe all the donation limits because when you do that, then you get federal funding. So actually we qualify for federal funding because we follow all the rules that limit the size of donations. So every dollar that anybody gives gets doubled actually by the feds. The feds match. So we follow all those rules for small donors. And we are the only party, I think, that will not accept any money that comes from corporations. So we don't want money coming from the big predators. So we say, if you are a corporation that wants to donate, or if you are a PAC from a corporation, we won't accept it. If you are the head, if you are a CEO of a big corporation that has a lobbyist, we won't take your money because if you hire a lobbyist, it means you got an agenda. And we don't want money coming from someone who's expecting a favor in return. So we go to great lengths not to get corrupted by the money and to be a small donor campaign. And most of our money comes over the internet anonymously. So I don't ask people for money as a rule. I think it's a dangerous thing to do that because then you get into these kind of suggested deals. You know, I want to know what you want. You give me your money, then you know there's pressure to return the favor. So most of it's anonymous and comes in through the internet. The global organization, yes, this is a cool thing. The Greens are like the socialists. We have Green parties all over the world. So we look at things not just like Americans, we're exceptional, but we're citizens of the planet. And we've got to make this work for everybody. So that's where we stand on that. On the issue of slavery, yes, and I'm sorry I didn't. On the issue of reparations for slavery. And I was, in my mind, thinking about this when I talked about the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, to come to terms with the living legacy of slavery. In order to really come to terms with that, you need reparations. So yes, we support reparations. It's critical. The country was built on the backs of slaves, African Americans. We also believe in reparations for indigenous people who were also subject to genocide and had their land stolen. What's that?
We want the whole land back.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Is there serious thoughts and conversations within
your party and your administration about getting out with the grassroots, young people in the communities to help fund them and send funds their way as far as being entrepreneurs.
That's exactly the plan, and the plan is written. It's called the Green New Deal, and the focus is developing entrepreneurs, small businesses. The money will not go to multinational corporations. It goes to entrepreneurs like you who are grounded in the community, who create jobs, who create profit. That profit recirculates. This is the thing about community business, is really good for communities. Big corporations are not good for communities. They take the money and they send it to corporate headquarters somewhere else. So what you're talking about is exactly what qualifies for funding with the Green New Deal.
Can